A forgotten artifact lies in pieces on a planet far from Earth. Few know it exists except those who took it back and those whose ancestors created it. 4 young people are thrown into a race against emissaries of the gods to find its pieces. Mistrust, greed, and magic are tangled in an endless web. What will the fate be of the universe once it is found and reassembled? Get Scepter of the Gods, The Rod of Truth now on Amazon, and get wrapped up in the saga that will not let you go.
Good morning and welcome to the Motivational Devotional, where we are merging motivation and spirituality to create a daily dose of confident positivity. I hope that this morning's podcast will help you to be more spiritually and positively motivated so that you can transform your day.
Are you traveling anywhere for the holidays this year? Maybe you did for this weekend, or maybe you have something coming up. Thanksgiving weekend is the biggest travel weekend of the year. As I grew up, we never flew anywhere as a family. My parents always preferred to drive. Over this particular weekend, we would always go to Fort Worth, Texas, because that's where the bulk of the extended family was. We never lived far away from there, and so we would drive. Besides, my parents would figure in a stop here and there for shopping or for interesting sightseeing opportunities. Usually it was the shopping, because after you've made the same trip a few times, you've pretty much seen the sights. We also didn't have to pull out a map and figure out the route because my parents had driven it multiple times. Then, when we got to the city, that was where they had each grown up, and so they rarely had to consult a map back in those pre-GPS days. You know, it's sad to think it's a lost art to unfold a road map in the passenger seat in such a way as to not block the driver's view, find and figure out the route, and then fold it back up the way it originally was. Kudos to those many brave road warriors who learned this skill with adept finesse. If your car had no air conditioning, even more bonus points go to those who managed to hold the map and keep it from blowing out the window at 70 miles per hour. But these days, I do love pulling up my destination on my phone, making sure the default route is the way I want to go, and then tapping a button and setting the thing on my dash for it to tell me how to get there. I can be lost in the middle of nowhere, and that little device can get me home or wherever else I need to go. I fantasized a few times that it would be so much fun to shift back to my high school or college days and take my phone and show people things like that, but then I realized it wouldn't work, since there were no satellites. Well, there were, but only for science, and nobody even had a personal computer at the time. Your GPS maps won't function without the eye in the sky giving directions. So what's going on with your personal journey, the one you can't pull up on GPS? Where are you headed? Where did you start? Is it a journey you've made before? Are you trusting someone else to drive your life and you're just in the back seat? It's fascinating to start to ponder the similarities between the journey of your life and Thanksgiving travel or a family vacation, isn't it? Who is in the vehicle of your personal journey with you? By that, I mean who is in your quality world, or in other words, who are the significant relationships in your life that are either supporting your personal journey or just along for the ride. There are some people you know who will be left in the last town. There are a lot of people in your life now that you will leave on the side of the road, not being mean or resentful, mind you, but just because they choose to not journey with you. That's fine. They will find their way. What I hope you aren't doing with your personal journey, your journey toward your dreams and goals, is standing at the window looking out at your vehicle and thinking you just can't get started because of your current circumstances. The main reason I hope that is because it is a poor excuse. But the other reason is because it just isn't true. There is nothing in your life that should keep you from pulling up your destination on your spiritual GPS, and more about that in a second, and plotting your course and then firing up the means to get there and get started. I'm not saying there are no obstacles, and you might have a ton of luggage to pull with you initially. I'm not saying it will be easy, and it might be incredibly difficult. But I am saying nothing is keeping you from getting started. Getting started doesn't mean you will make light years of progress right off the bat. If you get in your car to drive 3 states away, you can't expect to get there in 20 minutes, no matter how fast you drive. Now about that GPS, you probably know that stands for Global Positioning System, and the reason it works is because there are a ton of satellites in orbit around the planet that are all synced together. They are in what is called a geosynchronous orbit, which simply means they are orbiting the Earth at the exact same speed that the Earth is rotating, so they appear to be stationary. Each of these satellites stays over the exact same spot on the Earth, probably forever. And so if you drive from New York to Los Angeles, you transfer from one satellite to another, and you connect from one cell phone tower to another while the system keeps up with your journey. And it predicts your journey, and it guides you to make adjustments and gives you instructions all along the way. Wouldn't it be great to have a thing like that for life? Well, I believe we do. You can hear the guidance of the universe when your mind and heart are quiet. That dream you have for your life, it is part of the grand design for your life, and the universe already knows your destination. Nobody can tell you factually whether you have ancestors, spirit guides, guardian angels, saints, or just the Holy Spirit guiding you, because there just isn't any factual evidence to prove it. However, the longer you've been on a spiritual journey, the more intuitive you are, and the more you know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that there is something, someone, providing those GPS directions and corrections along your journey. Somehow, you just know there is help along the way. Your destination is already set, and you just need to be clear enough to consciously set it in stone in your own mind. You will have all the help you need to know in your heart how to get there. There is no circumstance in your life right now that is bigger than you are. There is no obstacle in front of you, no challenge that is stronger than you. Nothing has the power to stand between you and the life you are created to live, and you have everything you need to plan, start, and make that journey, and get started right now. So, when are you getting started? Although I recorded this way before you're listening to it, I am 100% sure I can hear you say, right now. Well, that's the right answer, because all of creation is already conspiring in your favor. Trust that the universe always has your back. Jackie Chan said, "Do not let circumstances control you. You change your circumstances."
Thank you for taking the time to listen today. Please help keep this podcast going by following the Motivational Devotional Facebook page, following @Threefold Way Radio on Twitter, and sharing the written format of today's message from motivational-devotional.com on your social media. I am deeply grateful for your support, and thank you for letting Motivational Devotional be part of your journey. Peace out. See you tomorrow.
Motivational Devotional is a production of Threefold Way Radio, LLC.